Welcome to part 2 of my reading of Maximum Ride, The Angel Experiment by James Patterson. I guess I'm just gonna get right into it. Chapter 13. Her mouth was so dry, her head ached, everything ached. Angel blinked several times, trying to wake up. Above her was a dark brown plastic roof, a cage, a dog crate, a canine camper, size medium. Fuzzy thoughts pushed at her brain as she struggled into sitting position. She knew where she was. She would recognize that chemical disinfectant smell anywhere. She was at the school. New N wings and new wings. Girl new? Okay. Quickly, Angel turned in the direction of the thoughts. Oh, okay, it was somebody else's thoughts, I guess. In a crate next to hers were two other children, younger than she. Their eyes, too big for their hungry faces, locked onto her. Hi, Angel whispered. She didn't feel any white coats around, just the scrambled, incoherent thoughts of these kids. Mouth noise girl, wings new. The other children stared without answering, trying to smile. Angel looked at them more closely. She thought they were both boys. One had rough, scaly skin, literally scaly like a fish, but just in patches, not all over. Not a happy effect. The other one just looked like a mistake. He had extra fingers and toes and hardly any neck. His eyes were huge and bulging, and the hair on his head was sparse. It made Angel's heart hurt just to look at him. I'm Angel, she whispered again. Do you have names? Noise, bad girl, wings, bad noise. The two boys looked afraid, and they turned from her and edged further back into their cage. Angel swallowed hard and was quiet. What had happened to Max and the others? Were they in cages too? The door opened and footsteps sounded on the linoleum floor. Angel felt the caged boys trembling with dread, crazed, swirling thoughts of fear crashing in their brains. They huddled together at the back of their cage, but the two white coats stopped in front of Angel's. Oh my God, Harrison was right, one white coat said, hunching down to stare at Angel through the grate. They got her! Do you know how long I've wanted to get my hands on this one? He turned excitedly to the other white coat. Did you ever read the director's precept report about this recombatant group? Yeah, but I wasn't sure I believed it, said the other white coat. A woman. Are you sure this is Subject 11? This little girl? The first white coat rubbed his hands together with glee. You're looking at it. He looked forward to unhook her cage door. Come on, little thing. You're wanted in Lab 7. Oh, yes. Man, when I section her brain... Angel winced. Then rough hands dragged her out. Pathetic relief washed over the boys that it was she who was being taken out and not them. Angel didn't blame them one bit. Okay. Chapter 14. Max, I'm starving. I had been ignoring my own ferociously growling innards for half an hour. There was no way I was going to break first and give Fang the satisfaction. I don't think so. But I did have an obligation as leader to take care of Nudge. As much as I hated to stop and lose time, it was a reality. Okay, we need food. How's that for incisive leadership? Fang, we need to refuel. Ideas? Fang pondered. It always amazes me how he's able to seem so calm at the absolute worst times. Sometimes he's like a droid. Or drone. Fang of 9. Fang 2-D2. Below us were mountains, the San Francisco peaks, according to our map. Our glances met. It was creepy how we knew what each other was thinking so much of the time. Ski slopes, I said, and he nodded. Summertime, empty vacation houses. Would they have food? Nudge asked. Let's find out, I said. We flew in a big circle around the edge of the mountains. Small towns that came alive and in winter dotted the foothills. I led us away from them, to where a few homes stood like train set models along trees. One house was apart from the others. No cars parked outside, no smoke coming from the chimney. Nobody home? I banked and slowed, tucked my wings in a bit, and started to drop. We landed 100 yards away. As usual, after flying for hours, my legs felt a tad rubbery. I shook them out and then folded my warm wings and tight against my body. Nudge and Fang did the same. We crept quietly through the woods. No signs of life. The porch was covered with pine needles. The driveway hadn't been used. The shrubbery was way overgrown. I gave Nudge the thumbs up, and she smiled. Though, amazingly, she stayed quiet. Bless you, child. A quick reconnaissance revealed no alarm system I could see. No red lights blinking inside for motion detectors. This wasn't a big fancy house worth alarming, anyway. It was just a teeny tiny vacation cottage. With my pocket knife, I slit a window screen and unhooked the latch. The screen lifted off easily, and I set it carefully against the side of the house. A thoughtful burglar. That's me. Then Fang and I shook the old wooden window frame, until the lock at the top jiggled open. Fang climbed in first. Then I boosted Nudge in. Then I scrambled in and shut the window. Dust covered everything. The fridge was turned off, its door open. I started opening kitchen cupboards. Bingo, I said, holding up a dusty can of soup. Oh yeah, pay dirt! Woohoo! Cans of beans, fruit, condensed milk, whatever that was. It sounded bad. The ever-popular ravioli were golden! Fang found some dusty bottles of orange soda and popped those suckers open. But let me tell you, there's a reason people serve that stuff cold. Half an hour later, we were sprawled on the musty couches, our eyes at half-mast, our bellies way too full. Nudge moaned. I feel like concrete. Let's take 10, rest a bit, Fang said, closing his eyes. He lay back against the couch and crossed his long legs. Just a minute. We'll feel better. I second that emotion, I muttered, my own eyes closing. We're coming, Angel. In a minute. Alright, chapter 15. Let's throw all their stuff into the canyon, Iggy said angrily, punching a door frame. Having to listen to the rest of the flock leaving while he sat around being blind was more than he could stand. I think even their beds would fit out the hall window. Gasman scowled. I can't believe I have to stay home while they go off and save my own sister. He kicked a worn red sneaker against the kitchen island. The house seemed empty and too quiet. He found himself listening for Angel's voice, waiting to hear her singing softly or talking to her stuffed animals. He swallowed hard. She was his sister. He was responsible for her. An open bag of cereal lay on the counter, and he dug out a dry handful and ate it. Suddenly, he picked up a bag of cereal and hurled it at a wall. The bag split open, and Fruity-O's sprayed everywhere. "This sucks!" the gasman shouted. "Oh, did that just occur to you?" Iggy said sarcastically. "Guess you can't fool the gasman. He might not look like the sharpest tool in the shed, but—" "Shut up," said the gasman, and Iggy raised his eyebrows in surprise. "Look, this sucks so bad. Max left us here because she thought we couldn't keep up." Iggy's face stiffened. "But was she thinking about what happened if the Aishers came back here?" the gasman asked. "Like, they got Angel not far from here. They saw all the rest of us. So, they know we must be somewhere in the area. Why wouldn't they come back for us?" "Huh," Iggy said thoughtfully. "Of course, it would be hard to find this place, and even harder to get to it. Not if they have a chopper," the gasman pointed out. "Which they do." "Huh," said Iggy. The gasman felt proud that he had thought of all of this before Iggy had, even though Iggy was older, as old as Max and Fang, nearly ancient. "But does that mean we have to sit here and take it?" the gasman asked, pounding his fist on the counter. "No! We don't have to wait for the racers to come get us. We can do stuff. We can make plans. I mean, we're not useless, no matter what Max thinks." "Right," said Iggy, nodding. He came to sit next to the gasman on the counter, his feet crunching over dry cereal. "Yeah, I see what you mean, so to speak. I mean, we're smart, we're tough as nails. Max might not have thought about keeping the camp safe, but we did, and we can do it." "Yeah, now you're talking. But how?" "We can make traps, do sabotage, bombs." The gasman rubbed his hands together. Iggy grinned. "Bombs are good. I love bombs. Remember the one from last fall? That almost caused an avalanche. That was to make a trail through the woods. Okay, there was a reason for it. Max approved." The gasman pawed through a hill of ancient newspapers, piles of junk. Some of those socks, a long-forgotten bowl that had once held some sort of food substance. Oops. Until they found a slightly oil-stained memo pad. "Knew it was around here," he muttered, ripping off used sheets. A similar search revealed part of a pencil. "Now, we need a great plan. What are our objectives?" Iggy groaned. "Oh no. Years of Max influence are taking their toll. You sound just like her. You're like a Max Let. Max Ketter? The gasman frowned at Iggy and started writing. "Number 1, make firebombs. For our protection only. Number 2, blow up demonic erasers when they return." He held up the paper to reread it, then smiled. "Oh yeah. Now we're getting somewhere. This is for you, Angel." Alright. Chapter 16. Angel knew she couldn't go on like this much longer. Her lungs had started burning bad an hour ago. She hadn't been able to feel her leg muscles for longer than that. But every time she stopped running, a sadistic white coat, Riley, zapped her with a stick thing. It jolted electricity into her, making her yelp and jump. She had 4 burn marks from it already, and they really, really hurt. What was worse was she could feel his eager anticipation. He wanted to hurt her. No, he could zap her 1,000 million times if he wanted. This was it. She couldn't go on. It was a relief to let go. Angel saw the whole world narrow down to a little fuzzy tube in front of her. And then even that went gray. She sort of felt herself falling, felt her feet tangle on the treadmill belt. The zap came, once, twice, 3 times, but it felt distant. More an unpleasant stinging than real pain. Then Angel was lost in a dream, and Max was there. Max was stroking her sweaty hair and crying. Angel knew it was a dream because Max never cried. Max was the strongest person she knew. Not that she had known that many people. Ripping sounds and a new searing pain on her skin pulled Angel back. She blinked into white lights. Hospital lights. Prison lights. She smelled that awful smell and almost retched. Her hands were pulling off electrodes taped to her skin. Rip, rip, rip. Oh my god. 3.5 hours. Riley was muttering. And its heart rate only increased by 17%. And then at the end, it was only the last 20 minutes that its peak oxygen levels broke. It? Angel thought and wanted to scream. I'm not an it. I can't believe we've got a chance to study subject 11. I've been wanting to dissect this recombinant. I don't know how to say that word. For 4 years. Another low voice said. Interesting intelligence levels. I can't wait to get a brain sample. Angel felt their admiration, their crummy pleasure. They liked all the things wrong with her, all the ways she wasn't normal, and all those stupid long words added up to one thing. Angel was an experiment. To the whitecoats, she was a piece of science equipment, like a test tube. She was an it. Someone put a straw into her mouth. Water. She started swallowing quick. She was so thirsty, like she'd been eating sand. Then another whitecoat scooped her up. She was too tired to fight. I have to think of how to get out of here, she reminded herself. But thoughts were really hard to string together right now. Someone opened the door of her dog crate and flopped her inside. Angel lay where she fell. At least she was laying down. She just had slept for a while. Then she would try to escape. Early, she blinked and saw the fish boy staring at her. The other boy was gone. Poor little guy had been gone this morning. Hadn't come back. Might not. Not me, Angel thought. I'm gonna fight. Right after I rest. Alright. Chapter 17. This bed was horrible. What was wrong with my bed? Irritated, I punched my pillow into a better shape. Blood on my face. He's almost terrible. An ancient state now. Still asked blankly. We felt older. Got my from under the couch. Bunny's off them. Thank you for all that, I said. It put you down. Nothing's hands. Thanks, shrugged and pulled it back on. Got a fella. He moved soundlessly across the room and the window like a shadow. Now I was jamming shoes under her feet. Rubbed her back, trying to wake her up. Nudge was always a really slow waker. Usually I appreciated the lack of words for you, which would begin when she was fully functioning. But I needed to move. I practically threw it out the window, slithered out myself, and propped the screen back in place as best I could. A quick run down a country road, and we were off. Stroking hard, pushing to get everyone. Sorry, Angel. Sorry, baby. Chapter. Oh, and luckily it's a short one. Chapter 18. Okay. Despite the imminent sunrise, I felt better once we were flying above the treetops. But still, how stupid was that? What kind of loser was I? To let us fall asleep in the middle of a frickin' rescue! I thought about Angel waiting for us and my heart clenched. With a sense of dread, I banked and set us going about 10-12 degrees southwest. Anxiety fueled my wings, and I had to remember to find good air currents, set my wings at an angle, and coast when I could. We had to rest, Fang said, coming up beside me. I shot him an upside glance. For 10 hours? Today we've got another 4 to go. Maybe a bit more, he said. We couldn't have done it in one shot. It was late when we left. We're going to have to stop again anyway, right before we get there, and refuel. There's nothing more annoying than cold logic and reason. When you've got a good fit going. Fang was right, of course. Sigh. And of course, we'd have to stop again. We wouldn't even hit We hadn't even hit the California border yet. Far from it. We going to storm the place or what? Fang asked an hour later. Yeah, Max. I was wondering what your plan was, said Nudge, coming up alongside. I mean, there's only 3 of us and a whole bunch of them, and the erasers have guns. Could we, drive a truck through the gates? Or even into a building? Or maybe we could wait until nightfall, sneak in and sneak out with Angel before anyone notices us? That crazy thought cheered her up. I kept silent. I didn't have the heart to tell her that we had about as much of a chance of that as we did flying to the moon. But if worse came to worse, I had a secret plan C. If it worked, everyone would escape and get free. Except me. But that was okay. Okay, short stream tonight, but, nobody's here, so I don't think anybody really cares.